What an effort it was from Dylan Edwards. 4 tries in that game as the Panthers produced another big win, this one over the Seagulls, smashing Manly 44 points to 12. But let's dive straight into the burning issue, and one that has a lot of New South Wales fans holding their breath. Tom Trbojevic, he looked to be restricted a fair bit, and speaking post-match, they revealed it was back spasms that he was suffering from, and had to have a needle at half-time as well. Freddie?
Looked like an old man.
What was happening when you were watching this?
He just looked like an old man. You could see he was under discomfort. I've got to say their team just looked overwhelmed from the first set of 6. They just didn't look in the race at all. And Penrith scored early, and at no stage in the game did I ever think Manly were going to come back. So Turbo, whether he was fully fit or not, I didn't think it was going to make a difference. But it'd be interesting, his mindset. Because, you know, when you're not dealing with bones and stuff that's sort of, you know, real and physical, you're dealing with ligaments and all that sort of stuff and having back spasms, I don't know. Hopefully he's okay.
Interesting that he's coming off, he's got a history of hamstring injuries, and whenever you hear people talk about hamstring, it's always related to the glutes or the back or something like that. So to have back spasms and not take him off the field, they must have been pretty confident that it wasn't related to his history of hamstring injuries. I thought it was one-way traffic in that first half. I think Panthers had about 80% of the football, and the other number one, this guy here, he contributes as much to that Panthers team every week. He doesn't necessarily get 4 tries, but it was good to see him get rewarded with some points on the board and some highlights, because he goes about his business. He doesn't care whether he scores tries. He's a huge part of that Panthers team.
Well, coming into the season, I didn't give Penrith a hope. I thought they've lost too many players, and look at the players they've lost in 3 years. Probably a full team of stars. And considering they lost the World Club Challenge, Brisbane rolled them in round 1, I thought, well, this is the year they can't do it. Just have a look at the players they lost. Once again, I'm wrong. They'll be there.
Is it a really strong reality check for the Seagulls?
Oh, they're so far off the pace, so far. And it's the best half of footy we've seen from a team, the first half. But yeah, they were poor, Manly. Their edge defence, especially their right-hand edge defence, coming out of trouble. They just went to, is it Tungall's side?
Yeah.
Is that the side they went to? They just kept making break after break, and their discipline was poor, losing the ruck, and then edge defence.
Then their winger went off, and
Weeks
had to go to wing, and then all of a sudden it was...
Well, that's adversity, but and that's when we talk about resilience in your footy team, it's overcoming that adversity. You know, the score ended up 44-12, but the Panthers are a team that are willing to win 4-0. They asked the question, how hard are you willing to work for this 2 points? And Manly give them the answer pretty early in that first half. So they're as good as any team to ask that question. I think Melbourne are another team that asks that question quite often. How hard are you willing to work to earn these 2 points? And like I said, they got that answer from Manly pretty quick.
Well, they're making themselves work harder than they should be. They gave away 11 penalties, and I reckon 10 of them, at least 10 of them, were Manly coming out of trouble. So it doesn't say much for Manly, but what it does do is Penrith have something to work on. Their discipline. And the other team's coming out of trouble. And that's happened a couple of times, happening against Brisbane as well. I think Brisbane 4 or 5 times coming out of trouble. Penrith gave up penalties, so it's something to look at.
What do you think of Jason Saab's sideburns?
Yeah, I know. Well,
There's
it's just
no
wondering
hair.
where they're linking to the... There's like a half a mow growing as well.
They don't attach to the hair either. Usually the sideburns attach to the hair.
It's all very new age, isn't it? Just for Manly going forward, Josh Schuster expected to return. When you're looking at someone like Turbo, you know how influential he is. Do you look at a time of the season to give him a rest, considering he's got this, or just...
No, just play. That's the thing. There's 2 options you look at it. You can go, duty of care, he's got a history of injuries, he's our best player, we've got to rest him. But on the other side, he's a footy player. He wants to play footy. Get out and play.
The other part about the Seagulls is they're doing well at home, but not away. So they need to sort of address that. Their games away haven't been that great at all. They got beat. Well, they had a draw with Newcastle, they got beat by South, and they've been flogged by Penrith. Well, they seem to go pretty well at home.
Well, up next for them, they're back at home. Battle of Brookie. They're up against
Storm.
Friday night.
Good memories of that one for you, Bill. Do you?
Yeah.
Where were you in that sting?
I was on the sort of edge.
Are you grabbing anyway?
Probably.
Yeah, probably he would have been in there.